for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in the trenches. It's no difference. Fourth and inch.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we wind up Week 5 with a good battle between the Detroit Lions and the Indianapolis Colts. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. As they start on the ground, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense for the Colts, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Robbins, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run, it's a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Mixon with a first down carry to the 43, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Robbins. That one complete. He finds Sharp. So he stopped for no gain, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 25-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on the opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On 3rd and 2, Robbins. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it. And that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Gonzalez's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Throwing to start the drive. Bowen. Over the middle, complete. It's Taylor. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Bowen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
The Colts are the perfect 4-0 to start the campaign. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners are 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll be stopped at the 46, gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
Uses the stiff arm.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
It looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on 1st and goal. And they sent that play backwards.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
They'll look to run with Taylor.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This taken in at the goal line.
And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points after last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Robbins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Robbins. This is intercepted.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
George Karlaftis, the man to bring him down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Again, it's Taylor.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the interception set him up a terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more.
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw. Robbins.
They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Bowen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Colts have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead is now 17-3.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Operating from the gun. Robbins.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Right, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Alex Anzalone charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him. And I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Bowen. He's got a man. Complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 3rd and 19, no problem as they're able to convert.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him early but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second down, another run with Taylor. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll run here with Taylor. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They run once more with Taylor. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with third down upcoming. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They were stopped last time from the 1. Now here's another try on third and goal. They'll try and run Taylor. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
Blankenship's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. We haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Bowen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Well, pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of the drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd down, Robbins.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Fights through it. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because
He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Off the play fake. Bowen. And that will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball around much, however. They do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Looking to throw on second down. Robbins. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't loading up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
If we go back to the last series, remember, their coverage allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway, and that helped contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe his quarterback's a little bit hesitant. Last time he turned it over, now he sees his zone coverage a little bit slow to get rid of the football.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Dante Jackson picks it.
Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And now the drive starts for the completion out to the right.
He's got room at the 30. Down the right sideline.
Touchdown, Indianapolis.
So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far. That's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken at the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. The Colts send out their punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Robbins escaping the pressure right. Finding Hockenson here on the out route. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup at 13 sets them up 1st and goal.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Up the middle, here's Henderson. Shoves him aside. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Beckham now. It's a jet sweep. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 2nd down, Swift. Now the ball comes loose, but I believe the Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up.
almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That heavy brought down by the Colts. Rashawn Gary able to drop in that time for his second sack of the evening. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll try and grind some clock with Gordon. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Now Gordon on 1st down.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On the counter, here's Gordon. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they take a knee. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the 1st quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the 1st quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for the Colts, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.
I'm gone. When I'm in my zone,